Today we're going to talk about unilateral pressing, why it's important, specifically the single arm dumbbell bench press, and why you can't solely rely on bilateral presses like regular dumbbell bench presses, and two-arm push-ups. So in 2007 there was a study by Dr. Stuart McGill that looked at the relationship between barbell bench press strength and standing single arm cable press strength, and why you might expect that the guys with the biggest bench presses would also have the biggest standing cable presses. What they actually found was that there was a hard plateau right around 40% of the subject's body weight. So what they found, and the reasoning for this from their EMG study, was that it was actually a torso core muscular limitation. So it was the inability to actually stabilize that weight through their torso that was the limiting factor in how much weight they could actually press from that more functional standing athletic position, not simply how much weight they could bench press. The reason we like the dumbbell bench press so much with a single arm is because it more closely mimics that contralateral force transfer from the opposite leg through the torso that has to now resist that rotation, being able to transmit that force through the opposite arm. So this more closely mimics something on 2 feet where maybe you're throwing a punch where you have to transmit that force through your torso into the arm, or obviously in your pigeon delivery where it's the same thing. We need to be able to transmit that force through that front leg, brace, rotate through the torso, and transmit that force up the kinetic chain through the pec, ultimately into the ball, into ball release. So this is something that we feel is a much more functional single arm pressing variation. Not that we don't like regular dumbbell bench press, but this is something to throw into the mix, especially as you get more advanced with your strength level. Again, you'll see that the actual movement at the shoulder joint itself is identical to a regular dumbbell bench press. The only difference here is, again, we're staying completely stable and neutral through our torso, but we're having to resist that rotation progressively more and more as we get deeper into the press. So again, working that torso significantly more than a regular dumbbell bench press, but nothing changes from the actual mechanics of the movement itself.